What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, dude?
Man, Hall of Fame finalists, Hall of Fame semifinalists. We're not even semifinalists, Centennial class finalists, man. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm happy. We got 4 of them things, baby. We got 4 people, baby. I'm hype.
We definitely do. I'm hype. And you know what I'm thinking with them.
What are you thinking, man? What's my man Deke pondering up over there, man?
I mean, they all should be getting in.
It's a shoe-in.
They all should. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to put it.
All right. I wouldn't expect anything less from you, Deke.
No. I mean, it's clear. It's clear as day, in my opinion. I was gonna say, do you want to get in? Do you want to?
Well, I was just gonna let the people know real quick, just the listeners, that the 2 modern era finalists are Troy Polamalu. This is first time being up, and Alan Faneca, this is his. I
think it's 4th or 5th.
His 5th time. His 5th time available, and in the Centennial class, which they're doing this year to celebrate the 100th season, where they've added. I think they're going to do 20 total people now. So 15 Centennial class and 5 modern era. And the difference is the amount of years you have to have been away from the game to be a Centennial class finals to be available for that. So the 2 that we have in the Centennial are Donnie Shell. Obviously he played a while ago, and Coach Bill Cowher, who was also on actually both of those guys been on there, man. So shout out to both of them, man.
Yes.
Yeah, legendary.
Another reason why everyone should be in.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, those 2 are Centennial class finalists, and the 2, like I said, for our regular class are for Bill Cowher, obviously he coached the Steelers from 1992 to 2006, and then with Donnie Shell, he played 1974 to 1987. So yeah, man. I'm liking it a lot.
No, I am too. And it's good that we're getting this type of publicity for the Steelers, the Steeler players.
Yeah, we're doing our due diligence. We're doing our part.
The simple greatness that has come out of the Steelers organization is getting put on notice, and it should be. So
all from the podcast too. No, I'm playing.
So how do you want to do this? Do you want to break it down? Who do you think should be in, locks to get in?
Yeah, I think we should do it that way, man.
And then your reasoning why?
Absolutely. So if we're talking about the modern era, we'll name all of the other finalists. So it's 15 finalists. So you have Steve Atwater. This is 3rd year being available. Tony Baselli, this is 4th year being available. Isaac Bruce, 4th year being available. Leroy Butler, this is 1st year available. I already told you Alan Faneca, which is 5th year being available. Torrey Holt, this is 1st year available. Steve Hutchinson, this is 3rd year available. Edgerrin James, this is 4th year available. John Lynch, his 7th year available. Sam Mills, this is 1st year available. Troy Polamalu, my dog TP, his 1st year available. Richard Seymour, this is 2nd year available. Zach Thomas, this is 1st year available. Reggie Wayne, this is 1st year available, and Bryant Young, his 1st year available.
Man,
and only 5 of those guys can go.
What's crazy is you saying John Lynch 7 years.
Yeah, man.
I'm surprised at that. I thought you were gonna say 1st year somehow,
dude,
even though he's been out of the league for a minute.
Because I viewed him in that same vein as Brian Dawkins.
Yeah,
and Doc was in his 2nd year. So that's very surprising, man. Obviously, Alan Faneca was a guy that many thought should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. This is 5th year. When we naming some of those names, I was even surprised with Richard Seymour. I thought last year he had the chance to get in as a first ballot, but the class was already tough. And that's the thing. When you get to this level, we're talking about the best 5 per year. Like, all of these guys can make a legit case for being a Hall of Famer.
And there's going to be new guys next year. That's how it always is.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened with Faneca. Like, he got caught where it didn't happen his first year, and the next couple of classes since then have been insane. Like, you think about the one with Ray Lewis, that class. It was like Ray Lewis, Randy Moss, Brian Urlacher. It's like, dude, there's not a lot of room for you, man. Like, I love you, but dang, this is nuts. No. And then remember they pushed T.O. back a year. Like, it's just, yeah, man.
No, and I think he definitely has a better chance this year amongst those names. There's not one that's, in my opinion, Polamalu's the one that definitely sticks out. But outside of that, I don't know. I definitely think he's got a shot.
I think he has a good shot. For me, the names that I looked at was this. I said Troy Polamalu, I feel like he was a lock. I said Richard Seymour, I think will more than likely get in. Just because he didn't do it as a first ballot, I think he still gets in as a second year opportunity. Zach Thomas is up there.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting conversation, though, is with the receivers. When you look Reggie Wayne and Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce, all three of those guys balled out. But how do you weigh them? I mean, Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, for example, like that's kind of crazy. They're in the same class right now.
Yeah.
Then obviously, like I said, with Reggie Wayne, he was playing with Peyton. So how does all that factor in? That's the thing, yeah.
Well, I think those are just all really good receivers because in both cases, Reggie Wayne playing with Peyton and then the two Rams receivers playing with Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
But both of them ended up leaving and the receivers still balled out.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you had Luck come in for the Colts with Reggie Wayne, but even there was a year in between that where Manning was hurt and they had like Curtis Painter and he still almost had 1,000 yards. I think he had at least 900.
Right.
And then you had Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt.
They were part of the greatest show on turf.
Well, there was that with Warner, but then Mark Bolger comes in and they still perform.
But then to me, I'm like, is that more a product of the receivers or was it a product of the offense? For me, I'm looking at the receivers like I'm a fan. If you can do it with multiple quarterbacks, you're like legit.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, with both of those you just named, like that's crazy. So we're already sitting at 3. So I'm assuming one of those guys gets in, right?
Yeah.
I think
if I had to pick one of the 3, I would say Reggie Wayne.
See, I thought Reggie Wayne.
But the problem is the other guys have been waiting a little longer.
Right. Well, Torrey Holt, this is first year. I don't see Torrey Holt getting in over Reggie Wayne. I could see them going Isaac Bruce over Reggie Wayne though. So that's my only thing. So in that regard,
but if you're, I don't know, if you're just taking receiver, like who would you rather take?
I would rather have Reggie Wayne. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. But then I go back to the politics of is Reggie Wayne a first ballot Hall of Famer, but T.O. isn't.
That was a whole joke in and of itself.
It was, yeah, but that's the standard I'm thinking of now. Like, are you going to view Reggie Wayne as as a first ballot?
Oh man,
because to get the honor of first ballot,
is this you speaking, or
I'm
is this?
I'm just saying to get the honor of first ballot, that's like a legit thing to be first ballot.
Is this you talking, or is this you putting your mind in the voters?
This is me talking. I feel like the voters will look at it like, oh, we just wanted to get T.O. just to do T.O. that way.
Yeah. So hold on. You're coming in as a voter right now, though. Mm-hmm. Are you taking the voters' miscalculation or mistake of not letting T.O. into your vote because he wasn't technically a first ballot Hall of Famer? Are you letting that happen? Or are you saying,
I feel like it does because I'm like, at the end of the day,
bleep these guys.
At the end of the day, if T.O.'s not a first ballot Hall of Famer, how is Reggie Wayne a first ballot Hall of Famer? That's how I look at it.
Oh man, see, I would just say that was a one-off thing. Like
I would hope they say it as well because Reggie Wayne is definitely up there, but to be considered a first ballot Hall of Famer, like that's John Lynch. We said it 7 times on this list, bro.
Yeah,
and we already named 3 right now. And he's not in that 3. Yeah. And we're talking about one of these receivers, so that's going to be 4 potentially. and we're about to make an argument for Alan Faneca.
Yeah, but you have to.
But the thing is this, we make the argument for Faneca. It's a ton of people that make the argument for Hutchinson as well. That's my thing, man.
All I know with Faneca, in terms of my reason why, one, he's a Steeler. So that's clear.
Yes.
He's got a couple rings. Actually, was he a part of that 2008 team?
I don't know.
Let's just say, yeah. So he's got 2 rings.
Oh, man. I don't know.
You could fact check me on that, but I'm like 90. Oh, wait. Actually, that line was really bad, so he might have been part of that.
I don't know.
I got my laptop right here. I'll check it. I'll check it at some point here.
Okay.
He's got 1 ring at least.
Yes.
He's got 1 ring. Because that was somewhat reckless, but you know how I am.
Yeah. But
so
I like how we just pick and choose when we want to add the rings argument. For me, I don't look at it that way. Like,
those lines were nasty though with him.
No, I agree. No, he was
the captain of those
animal.
lines. Yeah.
Think about this. all the All-Pros and Pro Bowls that he had as a guard, and then went to tackle and was just as dominant as a tackle. Like, for me, that's crazy because I know how hard it is to go from guard to tackle. And as a defender, I know what my mindset is if I see a guard lined up at tackle. Like, that's lunch meat out there because they can't move like that, man. A tackle, you got to be able to dance and play in space. A guard is more brute strength. The action is happening right now, and you're covered on your right and your left. When you're out there as a tackle, you're on an island. Yeah, so the fact that he's able to play both of those at a crazy high level like that, and when you listen to some of the older players that played with him, and when you listen to guys who've had a ton of success as offensive linemen in the NFL, I mean, guys like Tunch Ilkin, who still one of the Steeler greats in terms of offensive line play.
Definitely.
You listen to how he speaks of Alan Faneca and his play. You listen to a guy like Craig Wolfley and listen to how they talk about how Alan Faneca was able to play guard and tackle and probably be the best at both in the league. Like, that's crazy to me.
No, that is nuts. And I just checked, and it's one-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
I almost gave him 2 rings. I almost did.
It's all good. It happens. It happens.
No, but what I was going to say in addition to that is that he was always, here's the thing with me, and you know this about me, I have no clue how Alan Faneca really, really played because I'm not watching the offensive line.
And a lot of people don't.
If I'm just being completely real with you, but
you look at you look at the long runs, who's leading the block? Who's leading the way, man?
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I can say to validate it is every time I'm turning on Madden, he is 97 and above in the ratings year in and year out. So that's how I knew this guy was legit. And our lines were really good, especially early in Ben's career.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I will say this. I'm sure out of all of our listeners, more are going to side with what you just said in terms of the Madden element than mine in terms of like watching the film on Allen.
Let's just be real. I know, and I know, like I'm saying, you know, he should be in. I want him in because he's a Steeler, this and that. But if all the other Steeler fans are being real here, no one has any clue, like the amount of impact that he had. You laid it out there for us pretty well. But none of us have any clue. We just know Madden every year, he was 97, 98, and he was making Pro Bowls. So that was about it. Unless you're watching the line. I mean, I hope you do that.
But we had that conversation too. Remember when we talked about like Pouncey this year and how a lot of people don't understand how to even grade offensive linemen in terms of what's a good play, what's a bad play, what's a good pass set, what's good in terms of movement up front and things like that. Unless you really like are studying the game like that or like have played it, you don't really notice those type of things. And that's normal. That's common. It's no different than how everybody wants to talk offense until you have an elite defense. And then you're like, oh, defense looks good. Yeah. But which is why when I get on the mic, I make sure my defense gets love and I make sure my offensive linemen get love because I got love for the O-line, baby. Straight up.
Exactly.
But yeah, man.
The yin and the yang. Man.
How do you feel about Zach Thomas?
Dude, he was a baller. This is another guy that is in the mix.
This is his first year available. And he was a dog.
He truly was.
Like, I loved watching him. He was a dog.
He truly was.
Yeah.
And, him and Seau down in Miami was
right. That's what I keep thinking. I'm like, Seau was the first bat, but I'm like, it was other factors that played into the whole Seau thing as well.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. It was other factors that played into that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Zach gets the same benefit right now.
I'd probably say I was a better player.
No. I agree. I agree. Say I was a better player. But we know at the time of voting and everything, it was some tragedy that happened.
No, definitely.
And that played into it. And that's what I'm saying for Zach. I don't think he gets that same benefit, but man, could he ball. God, he could ball, man.
Yep.
And I like him because he was undersized. I love undersized players because I can relate to undersized players. But my man was a dog.
You bringing up these names.
It's tough, right?
It's really tough.
And we're talking about five guys. Like, we can legit make an argument for John Lynch. John Lynch was nasty. I mean, he was putting people to sleep. He was an animal out there as well. Like I said, I viewed him and Brian Dawkins in the same class. I said,
oh, definitely.
I always looked, I said, Ed Reed and TP, my dog Troy. I said, those two were in a class by themselves. Then I said it was Dawkins and John Lynch. They were together. And after that, you go down the list. But man, to see Dawkins getting his second time, John Lynch is his seventh time. That's tough.
It definitely is tough.
That's tough.
And I don't know.
He was a part of some of the elite defenses in the league. You think about that Tampa defense, man.
Oh, I know.
God.
You're right. And I'm only imagining him with the Broncos right now.
Right.
But no, you're right. And that's the problem. Like these dudes, whenever you talk about them, you go back to
you start thinking of the splash.
Well, there was that, and then I know obviously like Ray Lewis and Randy Moss and Dawkins and like all these dudes that got in.
Yeah.
These guys were in that era, and like you said, I in a way view them in the same light.
Yeah.
Just because now this goes back to just me growing up. I don't know, in grade school and playing video games with these guys, and always your pick, whether it was NFL Street, I was a big NFL Street guy.
Okay.
And in Madden, these guys are the ones you wanted on your team if you're doing fantasy drafts I
need John Lynch at safety. He gonna sleep something.
Yeah, they were big time players. So that's something I definitely remember. And I'll be honest, I was never picking Faneca on NFL Street because you never picked line. You just didn't really go with linemen, dude. They were too slow on defense.
Can't do that.
So that's the thing. You bringing up these names, that's kind of where my mind goes. Yeah. And it's going to be, I know I'm talking.
I'm looking at Brian Young. I'm going to ask another one of the dog. Steve Atwater. I think about Steve. This is third time available.
Yeah, he had like 5 or 6 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
And I have actually a funny story with him. So did I ever tell you about the Hall of Fame game I went up to? This was like 3 years ago. And I ended up interviewing like Trey Wingo and Herm Edwards. Steve Atwater was one of them, actually.
Serious?
Yeah, there's a whole backstory to this, but I ended up sneaking into the Hall of Fame induction and where they're giving the speeches. And I'm in like the mix where you would have everything roped off in the middle, front lines. So
Leave it to Deke to sneak into the Hall of Fame.
I made it a far way up there, and between
you do kind of like you would just fit in though,
dude. But kind of maybe I had a man bun at the time. Remember my hair? So I had a man bun at the time, and man, the shirt, I was wearing one of my Chillin' with Deke shirts.
You could just get away with it though, bro. You got that vibe with you, bro.
I was able to, and I was up there the whole time.
Yeah.
And in between speeches, I'd go up to just people that were standing around and just say, "Hey, I'm doing a little podcast, and can I ask you a few questions?" Steve Atwater was one of them because I was in the Broncos section.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I forget who was getting it. I think it was Terrell Davis that year.
Ooh, okay.
So there was a bunch of Broncos guys. Yeah. Mark Schlerers was there. I ended up getting him on. But yeah, it was just a crazy experience. So I just want to say shout out to him for coming on my podcast I was just, starting out and just
I like it.
Trying things in this world.
I like it. Man. Let's see. Yeah. I think we got 3.
So what's your 5? If you're betting man, if you're betting man,
if I'm making my 5, I'm probably going Troy, Seymour, Reggie Wayne. I hate to do it, but I think it's gonna be Steve Hutchinson
for Faneca.
Yeah, and then I think it'd be Zach Thomas potentially as that 5th one.
So no Lynch?
Well, this how I look at it. Either it could be Thomas or Lynch for that 5th one.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards Thomas got to play linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, but it could be either one of those for that. But I think they're going to go Hutchinson over Faneca, bro. I hate to say it, but I think that's how it's going to be, man. And I think Reggie Wayne definitely gets in over those other 2 receivers.
You think it's just the Steeler factor, having 2 Steelers in like that?
Well, because you got to think, okay, if we're going to make the case that Troy is a shoe-in, right? He's a lock. We're also on the Centennial side, Donnie Shell, he's got a awesome chance to get in, and we're still going to make a case for Bill Cowher. As much as we love the Steelers, as much as we would love for all 4 guys to get in, as much as we can make an argument for all 4 guys to get in,
there's a human factor.
They are not about to put 4 Steelers in one class, bro. If they do, I would love to be wrong. It would be the best day of my life being that wrong. But I don't see it happening. I'm hoping that we get 2 in the same class.
And I understand that.
But that's just the politics that are associated with it. We know this.
No, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
Probably more or less whenever I was talking about them getting in at the beginning, I just think all 4 should be in.
No, I agree.
No matter what, at some point in time. And I understand if this is not the year for certain people, then I get it. I
do think all 4 will eventually get in. I just don't think all 4 get in this class, just because they're not going to have 4 Steelers in. 2 in the modern era, 2 in the Centennial class. They're not doing that, bro.
I think the 2.
I wish they did, though.
I think the 2 that you said Donnie Shell. I'm assuming.
Donnie Shell, yeah.
I'm assuming that's what you're thinking too. Yeah. If there's 2 that get in,
it's going to be Troy and Donnie.
Basically, because Polamalu, I mean, between him and Ed Reed, best safeties in the league in that time. Yeah. I mean, crazy. So he should be getting, we talked about the whole first ballot Hall of Famer who's deserving of that notion. He got it.
And that was one of my former teammates, so I'm highly biased. I don't care. They asked me, who's better, Troy or Ed Reed? Troy. TP. You heard me.
I'm with you. Yeah. That's close. I was a big fan of Ed Reed. But
I was too, because I actually liked the Ravens before I liked the Steelers. Because I was a Ray Lewis guy.
What's going on here?
I'm just saying I was a Ray Lewis guy. Growing up, like when I played defense, I switched to 52. The body 52.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the body 5'5", it wasn't the body 4'3". It was the body 52. I wore 52 from my freshman year of high school until I came to Pittsburgh. So that's 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, 4 years with the Bills. Even in my All-Star game, that's the only number it's tattooed on me. Okay? Just put it in context. All right? So just understand, like the Steelers thing, like, hey, you already know I believe black and gold, baby, because that's the team that I roll with. I'm tired of the Steelers.
You weren't born here. So.
Yeah, but I wasn't. And where I'm from, it was like, okay, I was a Cowboys fan, but Ray Lewis was my guy. When I decided I was going to play defense, I'm Ray Lewis. You feel me? So that's just how I looked at it.
Completely understandable.
But Troy is better than Ed Reed.
So you have Polamalu, and then on the other end with the Centennial, with Cowher, I feel like you could put him at any time.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have the conversation even more so with those Centennials, because I want to name all those. I'll just name them right now.
Okay.
All right. So the way the Centennial class.
Yeah, I was going to say, we talked about Faneca a little bit. Do we even have to talk about Troy? Like, he was the man. I mean, what else is there?
It's baby Jesus. It's TP. It's Troy Polamalu we talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Gold jacket guy, first ballot gold jacket guy. The numbers speak for themselves. The impact plays speak for themselves. What are we talking about here? Is it really a debate? Is this something that we need to talk about? Hey, should Troy get in? Hey, should Troy be a first ballot? No, it's not a conversation. Ed Reed's first ballot. Troy should be first ballot. It's that simple. All right, it's simple. And in Troy Knight first ballot, I'm going down to the Hall of Fame. I got my card. Actually, I have a Hall of Fame lifetime membership card. When you play in the Hall of Fame, and you get one of these cards.
No way.
If Troy's at the first ballot Hall of Famer, I will be at Canton, Ohio, and I'm kicking over every Hall of Fame bust, every Hall of Fame artifact I see until Troy gets in there. I might get locked up. Oh well. Troy better be a first ballot. That's all I'm saying.
There's no debate.
It's no debate.
No
period.
Debate.
It's no debate. You can run numbers. You can talk impact plays. You can talk it factor. You can talk commercials. He was one of the most famous defensive players before it was cool to be a defensive player. The hair just flowing. Think about it. Everybody wants to talk quarterbacks, receivers. You was like, yo, that's TP. That's Troy Polamalu. I don't even know defense. I know that guy. when you get on that level as a defender, bro, you've crossed over. You've touched that realm of like, oh yeah, that's elite status. Everybody talking about being legendary. No, that's legendary. That's a legend right there, man. Period.
That's all that needs said then.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm sick.
I don't gotta say anything.
Yeah.
I've seen it. We all know here in Pittsburgh. It's fine.
It's like I said, I'll be getting arrested in Ohio if he's not first ballot.
Okay. I'll be there with you if you.
Lifetime membership. I could bring up to 5 people with me anytime, so you're good.
So I don't got to sneak in anymore.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. It says anybody that comes with me, as long as I got the card, we're free. We're
okay.
So
cool.
That's the only benefit of that Hall of Fame game.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about the Centennial class, so they did 8 finalists for coaches, 10 finalists for contributors, which was another snub because Bill Nunn should have definitely been up there as a contributor to the game. You said who?
Yeah, who?
Nunn.
I have no clue who that is. Bill Nunn. I have no clue.
Pull up your computer.
So I just got to type it in.
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell it?
Bill.
This guy has nothing to do with the Steelers, right?
Bill.
Is this a Bills guy?
Bill.
Okay.
Space NUNN. Enter.
He's an actor? That's what I'm seeing. All right, hold on. American football, Wikipedia. I do see something with the Steelers here. Sports writer and editor.
Keep going.
Football scout. Due to the fame of his son. So he did have a son that was an actor. Okay, that's interesting. All right. So he's scout.
Not just any scout. Not just any scout.
Dude, I don't know too much.
Okay,
about
so I'll give you a little backdrop on Bill Nunn. Before Bill Nunn came about, teams would only scout white players. They wouldn't go to the historically black schools, right? So you think of a guy like Joe Green.
So he's the reason we got Joe Green.
He's the reason why all of those black athletes during that time frame, he's the one who changed the whole face of how people scout. Like, changed the whole, instead of just going to your historical white colleges, he started going to the HBCUs and getting those talented players. And it ultimately changed the game because now everybody looks to try to find people at smaller places. Like, that was him. So when we talk about like contributors, like his impact on scouting, it's like if everybody was only going right, he was the first person to go left. And now everybody's like, oh, you can go right or left. Like, innovator.
He got robbed, dude. I can't believe it.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
You convinced me.
No, like legend. Like legend. He was a semifinalist.
I was gonna ask, was he in the mix then?
Yeah, he was a semifinalist. Yeah, but he's one of them dudes that's like, yeah, when you talking just impact on the game, like you think about Steve Sable, right? And like his impact in terms of like NFL films, like how he was the first one to do that, like really just change the game. That's how he was to scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, bro, you're wild. My man said, is he a Steeler? Who is this guy? Oh my God.
Listen.
Oh man.
Thank you for letting me know though. Because
you're educated now. You good.
Because now it's another thing for me to be outraged about if he doesn't get in. Or he's obviously not getting in. It's a snub. So
yeah, it was like a major snub. It was a big deal. And then so on top of the 8 finalists as coaches, 10 finalists as contributors, 20 finalists as a senior, and the seniors are anyone who hasn't played. A player who hasn't played in the last 25 years. Okay, so that's where Donnie Shell falls in.
Right.
All right, so the finalists for the coaches, I'll just pull up my computer, make it simple. All right, so you have Don Coryell, I think that's how you say that. He coached with the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Diego Chargers in the 70s and 80s. Obviously, Bill Cowher. Tom Flores, who was with the Raiders when they were in Oakland and LA. He also coached the Seahawks. Mike Holmgren, name sounds a lot familiar. Green Bay Packers, Seahawks. Won a Super Bowl, obviously. Jimmy Johnson, Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins. Obviously was legendary at the U as well. You got Buddy Parker, Chicago Cardinals, Detroit Lions, coached the Steelers in the late 50s, early 60s. Dan Reeves, Broncos, Giants, Falcons, very familiar name. And then Dick Vermeil. So it's a very stacked class right here.
Yes.
And the way you're eligible for that, you couldn't have coached within the last 5 seasons. All right. And the final finalists, they'll take 3 contributors, 2 coaches, and 10 seniors. So out of that list of names, only 2 of those guys go.
That's tough.
Yeah. From a contributor standpoint,
that's tough.
Yeah. Very tough. Very tough. From a contributor standpoint, I tell you, they're only going to take 3 of these names, right? Now, you don't even have to be a football head, but when I say these names, they stand out. Paul Tagliabue. You know who he is, commissioner of the NFL. Yep. Steve Sable, the guy I just told you about, NFL Films, changed the game. Art Modell. People were wearing his logo in the league when he passed away just to put that in context. All right, so those three, like I said, they're only taking three. So I just named you three hot names, but you also got Bud Adams, who was the owner for the Oilers / the Houston Oilers / Tennessee Oilers / Tennessee Titans. You got Ralph Hay. He was an early owner in 1918 to 22 of the Canton Bulldogs. You got Frank Bucko Kilroy, who was a scout, general manager, executive with the Eagles and Redskins, and the Cowboys and the Patriots, excuse me. You got Art McNelly, who was an official and administrator with the NFL for a while, from 1959 to 2015. I already told you Art Modell. You got Clint Murchison, who's a founder and owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Told you Steve Sable. You got Seymour Searwolf. I think that's how you say that. Owner, president of Elias Sports Bureau. That's the people that do all the stats.
Their stats, yeah. I recognize that.
Yep. Told you Paul Tagliabue. And then you got George Young, who was a contributor and general manager with the Colts. Well, actually, when it was the Baltimore Colts, Miami Dolphins, New York Giants, and the NFL. So he did it for a long time. So like I say, it's three of those guys. Then you got 10 out of this senior class. So I'm going to name off these names. Remember, they couldn't have played within the last 25 years. So we got Cliff Branch, who's a wide receiver with the Oakland and LA Raiders. Harold Carmichael. Whoa, I actually know him. He was actually the player development guy for the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's basically like the person that when you get drafted to the team, he's helping you adjust, find you somewhere to stay, get you in classes in terms of like how to handle having money, how to handle being an NFL player, family, marriage, all that stuff. He's a good dude, man. So yeah, he played with the Eagles and the Cowboys. You got Jim Covett, who's a tackle for the Chicago Bears. Roger Craig was a running back with the Niners, LA Raiders, Minnesota Vikings. Bobby Dillon, Green Bay Packers safety. Laverne Delwig played in for the Milwaukee Badgers in 1926 and the Green Bay Packers in 1927 and 1934. Sorry, I don't really know you. Ox Emerson.
We got some reaches so far.
Yeah, Ox Emerson, which was a guard linebacker center for the Portsmouth Spartans and Detroit Lions and the Brooklyn Dodgers in the early 30s. Yeah. Then you got Randy Grandishar, linebacker, 70s, 80s with the Broncos. Cliff Harris, safety with the Cowboys in the 70s. Winston Hill was a tackle with the Jets and the Rams in the 70s. Cecil Isbell was a tailback, defensive back, halfback during the 30s for the Green Bay Packers. Alex Karras was a D tackle for the Lions during the 60s and 70s. Vern Llewellyn, these some names, halfback in the early 20s for the Packers and the New York Yankees. Dang, double sport athlete right here. Got Tommy Nobis, linebacker for the Falcons in the 60s and 70s. Drew Pearson, wide receiver for the Cowboys in the 70s and early 80s. Donnie Shell, safety for the Steelers in the 70s and 80s. Duke Slayton was a tackle for the Milwaukee Badgers, the Rock Island Independents, and the Chicago Cardinals. Man. That was during the 20s. Max Speedy was an end in the 40s to 50s for the Cleveland Browns, back when it was the AAFC in the NFL. So that's before the merger. Then you got Ed Sprinkle, who's a DN linebacker and end, doing the 40s and 50s for the Bears. Al Wister, who's an old tackle, D tackle, and guard for the Philly Pitt in the 1940s, and then the Eagles in the 40s and 50s. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I don't really know a lot about a lot of those names on that seniors list because
there's like
in the 20s,
2 or 3 names I recognize.
Yeah, it's just not my generation. That's
Roger Craig.
Yeah, and Donnie Shell
and Harris. Those are the only ones I recognize, really. Yeah. And Donnie Shell.
Like that's well, I knew a little bit of Drew Pearson just because like the cowboy thing, but other than that, yeah, that's.
Dude, we're
talking about the 20. And the problem is this: these are some of the guys who a lot of these guys played before the NFL merger. So yeah, and footage of these guys is different.
And it seems like because it's the NFL 100 year, they did this with their all-time teams.
Yeah.
They left T.O. off. The amount of names that they left off these lists
just to go with like some of these super older guys. I mean, but the thing
they did their job. They created controversy, so there was that. But
well, I'll say this though, in terms of the way we view those guys, they were the foundation for the NFL. If those guys don't play, there is no T.O. There is no Ray Lewis. There is no any of these guys that played now. They were the foundation of it. Now, when we're talking Hall of Fame, it's hard to compare the numbers also because I know that's the quick thing we always do. Oh, look at the numbers from the guys that played in the 60s compared to the guys that's playing now. We all have talked about how the game has drastically shifted just in the past 5 to 10 years. So all that plays into it as well. So that's my only thing. I'm like, with the guys in the 20s, I personally don't know how to judge them or rate them, which I'm glad they're in their own class because think about prior to the centennial year, all of these guys we having to compete with the Troy Palomalus, the Ed Reeds, and all of that to just get 5 names in there. So this gives those guys their best shot right now.
And the NFL, I think, does a good job with their Hall of Fame, whereas basketball, I don't even think NBA has one. It's just basketball.
It's just the Basketball Hall of Fame, but
they let anyone in.
They do. You could be just a really good player, you're getting in the Hall. If this was the NBA Hall of Fame or Basketball Hall of Fame, Hines Ward would have been in like a long time ago. Just saying.
Whoa.
Is that not the truth?
Yeah, but let's be real. He should be in the NFL Hall of Fame.
That's a bias from a Pittsburgh person. It is.
If we're talking, I know we could talk
Who are we comparing them
stats.
to, though? That's what I'm questioning. That's what I'm asking you.
We're talking impact, though. Just he was a ball player, football player.
We're talking impact. Okay. Whose impact was greater? The receivers that we named off that are in the Hall of Fame? The receivers
Are you
that
talking about like Torrey Holton, like Isaac Bruce and them?
I'm taking those guys over Hines any day. I love Hines. That's my dog. I'm a Steeler through and through, but it's not happening, bro. It's not happening.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, all right.
Clutch
all
in
I'm
the
saying
playoffs.
is we can make our teams. I'll take Reggie, you take Hines, and I guarantee my team beats your team.
I wasn't talking about Reggie.
Oh, now you're not talking about Reggie. Now you're not talking about Reggie.
The Rams. I'm talking about the Rams.
So Isaac or Torrey?
I think that's a legitimate conversation.
I'm taking both of those over Hines. I'm sorry.
You're starting your team. I mean, especially
I'm taking both of them. I'm taking either one of them over Hines.
All right, if you're talking about right now, but in the eras they played, Hines Ward's ability to block and be physical like that.
Their ability to go get buckets, to get scores, to get yards. Give me that.
That's fine.
All right. So you're gonna have a great running game, it sounds like.
I want to have what
because you're talking about his blocking. You're talking about his blocking. I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know, but then he was 1,000-yard receiver year in year out.
Not like them. Look at the numbers.
Not like them in terms of they had a little bit more prolific seasons here and there.
Okay, so what are we talking about then?
I mean, the full body work for Hines speaks for itself, I think.
Exactly, and there speaks for themselves. They were in the same class as Hines. Hines had the opportunity to be a finalist. It's a reason. That's all I'm saying. Is Hines not available right now?
He's available.
So why isn't he one of the finalists of those 3?
I don't know, man. I think the writers...
Okay, so what about last year then?
What?
What about last year? Why wasn't he a finalist? And the year before that?
The finalists need to get their eyes checked.
The finalists aren't looking from black and gold glasses. And like I said, I love Hines. Hines is still through and through. Super good dude. But for me, when I'm not looking in a Steeler goggle vision and I'm just looking from a whole NFL standpoint, who was the better player, I don't think it's a conversation like that. Like Hines is really, really good, but those dudes were in another category. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I understand we understand your bias. We already talked about this conversation.
But I don't know. I think there's people that are unbiased that would agree with me though too.
I feel like more people agree with what I'm saying than what you're saying.
League wide.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
And I think here in Pittsburgh, we valued the blocking element of Hines a lot more because of the running game and because it was like, oh, wow, well, he's doing this too. This is cool. Whereas league wide, do you care if AB blocks? Would you care?
No, that's what I'm saying. Not now.
No, but I'm just saying like in general. Like, would you care? Like, we're the only team that will highlight Juju blocking perfect because, oh, Juju hit him, man. That reminds us of Hines Ward when he hit the other guy from the Bengals. Nowhere else in the league do they care about receivers blocking. That's all I'm saying, man. But that's the black and gold in us. We find that and we're like, whoa, look at this. Like, he changed the game as a receiver. They changed rules because of his blocking. Like, are we talking about an offensive lineman or are we talking about a receiver here? That's the difference.
Yeah, but then you could say offensive lineman, receiver, then you just got ball player, football player. That's all.
Okay.
Someone that balls out, makes an impact. That's
okay, but I'd rather have my impact players catching passes and scoring touchdowns than just blocking people.
Hines did that though.
I understand that, but when you say he changed the game or his impact, you're speaking a lot more on his blocking than his actual receiving. That's what I'm saying.
That's part of the game though. It's part of winning. It's part of winning football.
For receivers, it's about putting up numbers. That's how I look at it.
What about it? What about winning football games?
Is this the team Hall of Fame or is the individual Hall of Fame?
Yeah, but he helped the team win with his blocking and,
but we're talking
the other little things that he did.
Hey, great team player, great teammate.
But then offensive linemen shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame then, just for blocking, because there's not like stats like
that's
that.
their job. Actually, they're pancakes.
I know.
Pressures allowed.
I know.
Sacks allowed.
But it ain't like that though.
I'm saying. You just said there's no way to grade it. It is.
There is, but no one's paying attention to that.
No. You don't pay attention.
Whenever they're talking about like, hey, this guy should be in the Hall of Fame, they're just saying, wow, this guy was awesome. In terms of blockers, correct?
I look at it. I like to look at it, but I like to do my due diligence. I like to see like, okay, what made this guy better than that guy? Why was this offensive lineman good? Why wasn't he good? That's what I like to look at. Yeah.
And I'm saying that with Hines. It's things he did good. The stats are there.
Cool.
Super Bowl MVP.
So where does Hines rank in your top all-time receivers then? We can just figure this out right now. Is he a top 15? Is he a top 20? Is he a top 10?
Man, we would really have to go through that.
No, we don't.
We really would. I got to see who's...
Off the top of your head, is he a top 10 receiver all the time? Off the top of your head, is he a top 15 receiver all the time?
Definitely not top 10.
Okay.
Definitely not top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to look into some things.
All I'm saying is,
listen, if Holt and Bruce are on the mix of 15, then I would have Hines around there. But I got to look at it. I'd have to look at it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. All I'm saying,
I would have Hines over those two, not Wayne. I would have Reggie Wayne over Hines.
But then again, I'm not even gonna do that to you.
What?
No, because I was going to say, I know you're super biased because you also would have been over Brady. And that's why I always fall back and just say, like, I have to remember who I'm talking to.
Let's not go there.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Let's not go there.
I have to remember that Deke isn't always the most logical in terms of not looking through these black and gold goggles. That's all I'm saying. Hines was a beast. I'm not saying, like, this is the thing that you have to realize.
I'm way more biased with Ben than I am with Hines or any other.
But this is what I want you to understand. I feel like when I say Hines is really good, you look at it as it's a slight. It's not a slight. Like, he was a beast. He could ball out. But it's a difference between being a Hall of Fame player and being just a really, really good player. It's not a knock. It's not.
I think,
but it's a different category.
I feel like there's something to be said.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Obviously, I think the stats are there with him. And
like, when I think of a Hall of Fame receiver, I think of T.O. I think of Randy Moss.
Yeah, but
that's not that.
That's like 5 guys. I mean, there's got to be room for other guys, though.
There are. Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, and he's
awesome. He's the other 5. He's the other guys coming in, because Reggie Wayne to me isn't in the category of T.O. and Randy Moss.
I know. Yeah, that's fine.
But you just said to yourself that, hey, I'm taking Reggie Wayne over Hines.
I am, yeah.
And I just told you that Reggie isn't in that same caliber of those guys.
That's fine. There could be tiers.
Okay.
Maybe Hines is on the bottom tier of the Reggie Wayne.
Okay, that's fine.
I just think
the bottom tier of Reggie Wayne, you're making it like they're like great once it gets past Reggie Wayne.
Wait, they're great?
Yeah. No. I said you're making it sound like, oh, if they're on the bottom tier of a Reggie Wayne, then Reggie Wayne's tier is still like great players. I don't look at it like that.
I think it's still it. I think it's just Hall of Famer. Like, you're looking at Hines was a Hall of Famer. It just is what it is. Just is what it is.
I hope I do hope he eventually gets in. All I'm saying is I think it's going to take a long time for him to get in.
It might, which is a shame. Based off what we're seeing in terms of who's getting nominated in the finals, it might take.
All I'm saying is this: I expect Faneca to get in before Hines. Okay, that's how I look at it. And Faneca is dominant. We talked about how he was a dominant player.
Yeah.
Right.
No, agreed.
Like dominant.
Yeah. Wait, what are we talking about here then?
All I'm saying is, like, Hines, I didn't view as a dominant. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's it. Just take it for what it is, man.
Okay.
Like I said, hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reporting from a non-biased vision. You know what I mean? Like, this is how I see it.
Okay.
It's a little different. All right?
Okay.
You grew up in an era where you were loving Hines. Like, so your love and your affection for this team is totally different.
Well, it's interesting, though, because It wasn't with Hines, it wasn't that crazy because I'm way more biased towards Ben because whenever we had Ben, I would always complain that we didn't have. I'm trying to think. Someone like T.O. Someone like it's tough because this happened afterwards, but like AJ Green, Demarius Hunt, like those type of receivers.
Yeah,
like that would always be like, man, we got to get someone like that for Ben. You know, Peyton Manning's got Marvin Harrison.
So Hines wasn't that for you?
What?
Hines wasn't that for you?
This is what I'm telling you. Hines was because this is when I started getting into fantasy too. Wasn't the craziest fantasy player, so I wasn't like completely biased with Hines as I was growing up watching the Steelers. But in terms of if you're telling me Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer. He just is.
You just named off all those other dudes. Said, I wish he was this. I wish we had that.
But my reasoning was I wanted Ben's stats to be better. I wanted the offense to look more like it is.
Hey, but Hines can really block, though.
Yeah, we won games. We won games with Hines, and that's what it's all about. And the offense was productive.
From a team standpoint, that's what it's all about. From a Hall of Fame standpoint, that's not what it's all about.
It could be both. It could be a mix.
No. At the Hall of Fame, that's not what it's about. It's the Hall of your individual. Like, what was your individual body of work? Not what your team did. That's why when we talk about, oh, he got a Super Bowl, that's cool. Like, all right.
MVP. And the stats are there.
That's cool.
And the physical. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I ain't even about to do the MVP argument with you because then I'm gonna say, well, dang, what does I say about?
It was a rough.
No. I ain't going there with you, man.
It was a rough game.
You got the juice, bro.
It was a rough game.
You got it. I'm on your team, man. I don't want no problems.
It was a rough game.
I don't want no problems.
So,
hey, what about the other one?
What? Oh, he should. I'll be.
I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. Dude, you got it, bro.
Just watch that drive again at the end.
Just that's that drive. I'm saying. Just that drive of the game.
Not the game. I mean, what do you have? Over 200 some yards, 2 touchdowns. I guarantee you, Eli Manning's games where he won the MVP, it was around the same line, if not worse.
But I can guarantee you that the ones that Eli did ball like that, it was more so just Eli.
Wait, the Tyree catch?
The what?
Wait, what do you mean?
The what?
That catch?
The what? The what?
The Tyree catch?
You talking about when he gets out of the sack? When he gets out of the sack? Are we talking about that one?
And threw it up with his eyes closed?
We just saw Deshaun Watson do that and everybody praised him for it.
No. No.
Deshaun Watson got hit with 2 guys and got out of that.
No, the throw, though. The throw was an open throw. You do that
It was an open throw.
No.
You just said it was an open throw. Is that what you just said?
No.
You didn't just say it was an open throw?
There was no one around him. I mean, there were people around him when he threw it. He was able to throw the ball, yes, but the guy that he threw to was not open.
You just said it was an open throw.
Who? No, for Deshaun Watson. Yeah, that was an open throw. He didn't throw it up into.
All I'm saying is this, man. One has the MVP, one doesn't. It's simple. You say how you want to say it, man.
And that's fine. I'm not. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into that.
We're not. I don't want to do that.
Just watch the drive. Just watch the final drive.
I like how you just say just the final drive, though.
What? No. Well, people want to say that was all Holmes. That was like the reason he got. I mean, that drive was the reason Holmes got the MVP.
Okay.
But look at what happened on that drive. That's all I'm saying. Start off 1st and 20, backed up. Just watch it. Watch it.
All right, man. I just
not all those throws went to Holmes. So
that's cool, man. That's cool. I ain't tripping, bro. Clearly, the voters thought one way. That's all I'm saying. It's cool, bro. I'm not tripping.
There's an anti-Ben bias or something. I don't know what it is.
In 2 games, you're right. I'm with you, bro.
Well, the first one, it's pretty clear. He was not the MVP.
Sure. I never know with you. I never know.
It was pretty clear.
Are you sure?
I swear to God.
All right. Hey, listen. I'm on your team. I'm on your team. If he's the MVP, he's the MVP. Okay. I'm voting with you from here on out. I don't want no problems, Deke. He's the league MVP this year, even with the arm. I don't even care.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're not going to get into that.
All right, we're good, man.
Yeah. So what do we have to talk about Show a little bit here? I think he should get in all of those guys. It's pretty clear.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is if you're taking 10 of those guys, Donnie Shell
definitely sticks out.
He sticks out of all those names. He's one of those 10. That's why for me, when I said I think that he's one of the guys along with Troy. Because if I'm naming 10 of those guys out that list, Donnie is one of those names that for me sticks out, and I think he should get in. But the reason why I wasn't sure about Cowher
Dude,
is
there's other
because
guys there.
yeah, if we're only talking about two of those guys,
I'm thinking Jimmy Johnson,
Dick Vermeil, Mike Holmgren,
yeah,
and Dan Reeves. All of those guys are legit. I think for certain Jimmy Johnson.
Definitely, yes.
I think he's the shoe-in.
If the other two Steelers were in, I'd say it's a toss-up between the other ones.
Well, see, this is my thing. Dick Vermeil, man. Gosh.
Vermeil and Holmgren got the rings. I don't think the other dude won anything.
No, Dan Reeves, he lost one with the Falcons. Yeah. He lost with the Broncos.
So he's not in. He's out. No rings, you're out.
But this is the thing. There's only two of them they're taking.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So I would say without Polamalu and Shell getting in, that would be a good toss-up between the three. But they're going to give it to one of the others instead of Coward. Yeah. And Coward's on CBS, so they'll draw it out a little bit. You know he's going to get in at some point.
He will get in.
That's all.
And then when he does get in, we will replay our podcast conversation that we had with him.
Yes.
And everybody can go watch that again.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely. But yeah, so that's most likely is how it plays out, Polamalu and Shaw. I think we both can agree on that.
Yep. And we already named the three contributors that we think for certain will be.
You did. I have no clue about any of the other guys. So
Steve Sable, Paul Tagliabue. You know those two for certain.
I'm going to agree with you.
That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy, I don't even want to say that again. Let me say, who? Was he a Steeler? Who is this guy? We're not doing it. All right.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Eventually, all four get in. And I talked about it at the beginning. I think all four should get in, but as we break it down, probably not this year.
Yeah. And Hines will get in too eventually.
Yes.
So, some good playoff games this weekend, huh?
I hate being right, dude. I hate being right.
Yeah, which game were you right about? Don't count on Brady. Don't you count on Brady? I'm just telling you. You count all right
because
you count them out. All right,
my
count
way,
them out. Then don't count them out. All right,
my eyes. I don't think you should have counted him out. I thought he played good.
Okay,
I think we both can agree with that.
Okay,
he played good. Okay. Receivers are terrible.
Okay.
Countless miscommunications, countless drops.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw.
Okay.
But anyway, the first thing I was right on.
I like how, hold on. I just want to hear how you just named 5 excuses right there for why the Patriots got beat and why Brady is still fine.
I'm fine with the Patriots getting beat.
No.
That's cool.
I'm just listening to the excuse you just made for that, right? And now you're about to go opposite and not make any excuse for this Bills game. So let's hear it. I just wanted to let you know what you just did, where you made excuses for one. And now you're going to do the opposite, because we can make the exact same argument in this Bills one. But go ahead.
All I'm saying with that Bills one is what I told you.
What'd you tell me? You said it was going to blow them out, right? Shouldn't it be close? 10-point game.
I said 10. I said 10. But Texans,
because you said the Texans were the far way better team, right?
They were asleep at the wheel.
No, they were not. Don't even try that sleep at the wheel nonsense.
They let some gimmicky plays happen.
It's a playoff game. You're not sleep at the wheel in the playoffs. Continue.
But they spotted him 16 points. And,
they spotted him 16 points.
And they were just like,
so they spotted him 16 points.
Yep. They're like, hey, let's just show you how much.
So why didn't they finish in regulation?
I don't want to go there.
Why didn't they finish in regulation then?
What do you mean?
If they just spotted him 16 points or sleep at the wheel, why didn't they just beat him in regulation? Why did they have to go into overtime where they still almost got beat?
Just so people can enjoy the game a little more. So
cut it out.
Entertainment.
You don't even believe that. You don't even believe that.
No, I don't. No, I don't. But
so go ahead, put your respect on it. That's
here's
what
I do believe, and what I said beforehand.
What?
Deshaun Watson, it factor. Josh Allen, and experience. And
I agree with that.
That was the key. That was the key.
But I will say this: as much as we want to sit here, hold on.
Oh,
go ahead. You got it.
Because I will admit, the better overall team, it was clear as day, was the Bills. It was clear as day.
Hold on, I didn't hear you say that again.
The better overall team, but what makes a team also is the quarterback, and the quarterback that had the it factor won the game, and the one that didn't and had the inexperience.
Now, I will say this, before we sit here and talk all this it factor and praising the nonsense, are we really about to call, because this was the one thing that irked me. I hear Deshaun Watson after the game.
I was loving it.
They say, what happened on that play? Man, he hit me, and I just said I had to stay up. I rolled out, I made the check, and then I knew he was going to be there. You're lying. Stop it. If the second guy doesn't hit him, he's falling down for a sack. Period.
I was loving it, dude.
Period. That drove me, man. You know, I had to keep my legs moving, man. You know, I said to myself, man, I saw the check. I knew it was cover zero. Stop all that. Because if that's the case, you don't get hit by two guys. If that's the case, yeah, you making that throw before anyone touches you. If all this transpired the way you said it, no, it was a lucky fluke play. The same way you just talked about that fluke Eli Manning play, right? Where he just throws up the guy catches off his head. No. Not talking the whole play, but the catch, the throw and the catch off the helmet in coverage. Was that not a fluke catch?
The throw and the catch wasn't here.
I'm talking the David Tyree catch.
Yeah, I know.
That part of that play was fluke, right?
But in this case,
listen. That part of that play was fluke, right?
Okay.
So in this situation, where the first guy is clearly about to sack Deshaun Watson, is bringing him down, Matt Milano coming to hit him to get him back up is the fluke element of that play. That's what I'm saying, bro. It was two fluke things in two plays, and one you hear Eli just talk about, all right, man, I just it helped, it worked out. Different response to, man, I saw the check, it was cover zero, and when I got hit, I just said I gotta stay up, I gotta keep moving my legs. One's a lot of BS, one is a guy being real, like, yo, I got lucky. And it's safe to say, Deshaun Watson, you got lucky, bro.
The thing with Deshaun Watson, though, is he has that to his game, the escapability.
Bro, he got sacked 7 times in that game. If that's the case, where was the escapability on the other 7? Jerry Hughes sacked him 3 times himself. Where is that escapability at? Please tell me.
This was clutch time.
No. It wasn't clutch in the fourth quarter? It wasn't clutch then? It wasn't clutch all second half when they were down 16 points and they had to come back? He was still getting sacked then?
Yeah, you can't win them all, but...
Oh, now you can't win them all. So he gets 1 out of 7, and now all of a sudden he has the clutch. It's Superman, let me flex. Stop it, bro. That's nonsense, bro.
Persistence, yeah.
No, it's not persistence. That's fluke. That's luck. But that's what you love the game. That's why I love that element of the game, because you don't know when something like that's going to happen. But we all can agree who the better team was, which you already said. And I thought that was the biggest difference.
As an overall team, yes.
The biggest difference, like you said, one team looked like they've been in those situations before. Another team looked like they're still learning. But if I got to make my bets going forward, I feel a lot more confident with that Bills team than I do with the Texans team right now. That's just my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell throughout the game, like they had the talent on defense. It was just
talent on offense there, man. They need a receiver. They need a big receiver.
Well, there's that, and you could see with the running game, like right off the bat,
Singletary was making it happen.
They were rolling.
Yeah,
but
some questionable calls as well, like you always like to point out too. The illegal crackback block on the O-line.
I did text you that.
That was very janky.
That's what I mean. I'm not biased.
I don't make excuses.
I'm not biased. I told you that
because that ends the game if they don't make that call. You know that, right?
Maybe I don't.
No, not maybe that ends the game because they were already in field goal range.
Oh, for the Bills.
Yeah.
It was close. It would have been a long field goal.
No. He had already hit for 48.
Yeah,
and that was gonna be closer than that.
I mean, this is a different moment in the game, though.
They talked about for playoffs. Steve Hauschka was 100. Hauschka, however you say his name, was 23 of 23 in the postseason. So for me, I don't want to hear all that.
All it takes is that announcer to jinx him.
He had already been trying it. He had said it multiple times throughout the game. Well, this kicker hasn't missed a field goal all any postseason game. It's 23 of 23, 22 of 22. He's never missed in the postseason. He had been saying it all game. Whereas the Texans kicker, on the other hand, that was the fluke. That was the janky. Oh, you don't know what might happen with Kai Firebath. That's all I'm saying, bro. So before you go on this, the it factor, all that stuff, I look at that like it's a load of crock. Because we know that if that illegal quote unquote crackback block does not happen, they are already in field goal range. And that's cash money. Game's over.
Dude, Deshaun Watson bringing him back, though. I mean, that just the whole second half is pretty impressive.
Not Deshaun Watson. J.J. Watt and that defense.
There was that. Deshaun Watson made some throws and plays, though.
Yeah, but J.J. Watt was more impactful. J.J. Watt doesn't sack Josh Allen on that third down when they're in the red zone, and they get that first down. That's a touchdown. They go up, it would have been, it was 16 zip at the time. So they score a touchdown there, man. That's over.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt in the defense. And the thing that I looked at was this. That defense, in particular, those pass rushers, man, they consistently got after Josh Allen. And Josh got to learn to step up in the pocket and stop trying to turn his back and run away. That killed him, losing 10, 15 yards a sack. But that was the thing that reminded me of why I got so mad about that Steelers game. Because we talked about going into that Steelers game, that O-line for the Bills being a little janky, giving up a ton of pressure, a ton of sacks. We had no moments in that Bills game for the Steelers that we felt our team was dominating their offensive line like that. And that's what made me mad. Because we got better rushers, I felt like, than the Texans had.
Yeah.
But the Texans had consistent in that second half, bro, you knew, they about to get out to Josh. It's nothing they could do. Where was that for our team, man? God dang it, where was that for our team, man? That could have been us over there getting beat by the Texans. There you go. Now I'm playing.
This was, for me, I think other fans can admit this too. All the other years we missed the playoffs at 8-8.
Mm-hmm.
I sat back and would watch these games, bitter, frustrated. This was the year I was able to just sit back and just be like, I'm able to watch other teams play, enjoy their good players.
And why weren't you bitter though? You didn't think that we could have made some noise? Hey, yo, for anybody that listens to the podcast, please watch the YouTube video just so y'all can see Deke's face when I just asked him that question. Oh, man. The utter disgust.
You asked me a few months ago, yeah, but...
The disgust. He ain't want to say it.
We got the full sample size, and this was not our year. This was not.
So... Because people say, well, man, we could have been the Titans beating the Patriots. You don't think? Okay.
No.
But the Bills took the Texans to overtime. That wouldn't have been us.
No,
but the Texans beat the Bills. That couldn't have been us. It won't happen.
No, dude.
We won't go beat the Titans either.
No. This was... Maybe if Mason was in. If he was playing like he was the Jets game. But after that...
It's no answer.
Forget it, man. Forget it. Forget it. And... I don't want to say we're better off this way, but because I would have liked to see us in the playoffs still.
Yeah.
Steeler pride, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I actually was able to sit back, relax, and just, wow, I'm taking in the games.
Yeah.
This guy's a good player. This guy can do this, blah, blah, blah. So, but going back, I know the it factor thing, the Deshaun Watson, the Josh Allen, all that, this and that. I will say that with the Bills playing us, whenever I said no big time winning.
No big time winning.
And I was proven right. I said one and done, and it happened.
Hey, man, if you want to ride with the fluke, ride with the fluke. But just remember, you also said that don't count Brady out. They're not going to be one and done. They're going to make some noise.
I said Brady.
So you're shooting 50-50 right now.
I said Brady, and I thought Brady played good. That team was...
He played good?
I did.
So why didn't they win?
Defense sucked, and
what? How many points
sucked.
did they score in this game? 13 points. Brady played good. They put 13 points.
Huh?
The Patriots scored 13 points.
Oh, his offense is terrible. He can only do so much.
You got it, bro.
I'm just telling you.
All right, you got it, bro.
Wait, couldn't you see drops and miscommunications left and right?
That's fine, bro.
Am I not wrong?
I just said that's fine, bro.
No, all
I said was that's fine, bro.
Give me your side to it then.
All I'm saying is don't make those excuses for Brady, but then try to hit him with the, well, I told you they ain't going to make no big time winning for the Bills. It was one and done. If you can adjust how you talk about the Bills, I can adjust how I look at your Patriots. It's pretty simple.
It's not my Patriots.
Yeah, no. Because you speak in a highly biased manner when it talks about Brady and that offense, but when we're talking about this Bills, it's, I told you, they ain't going to win nothing. They ain't good. They were they damn sure should have won theirs on multiple occasions. It was no point in the game where you thought the Patriots were going to win that game.
Oh, yeah.
It was no point.
Until the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
basically.
The Bills, you knew, even in overtime, it was there. I just named a specific play where the game was done. That's all I'm saying. So
here's the problem.
Until you adjust how you talking about Brady, I'm not adjusting how I'm talking about him.
Here's the problem, though.
Let me hear it.
I'm talking about one player.
I don't care.
And I'm talking about a full team.
I do not care.
And the team lost.
I don't care. Brady lost.
He didn't lose. Everyone else lost.
Hey, he only accounted for 13 points.
It wasn't just him, man. Those receivers sucked.
Whatever.
I wanted to ask you this because I know you've said to me you could see decline in this game.
Yeah.
I still saw Zip, is what I saw.
That's fine.
Did you not see it?
That's fine. I saw 13 points.
Listen, I'm talking more or less for next year. If you want Brady as a quarterback,
13 points. Would you want Brady over Ben next year?
No, of course not.
All right. Well, I'm just saying.
Don't get silly here, man.
I'm just saying 13 points. Call it what you want to call it, man.
Dude, come on.
Dude, 1922.
Huh?
Dude, 19-22. Bills. No love. All right. Well, 13 points for the Patriots. 13 points for that Brady. That's how I look at it.
But I already told you my rebuttal to that, though.
All right. Well,
the offense is terrible. That was not Brady's
he's the leader
fault.
of that offense. So if the offense is terrible, he's the leader of it. What does that say about him?
He'll say that because that's the kind of guy he is.
Well, he's terrible then.
So I'll make the excuses for him.
All right. Well, I'm not. If you're not going to justify, if you're not going to change your tone for the Bills, I'm not changing my tone for the Patriots.
That's fine with the Patriots. I don't care about them.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
That's why you keep praising them.
I'm not praising the Patriots.
I'm telling you,
Brady. It's just Brady.
Hey, you said, man, don't count Brady out.
Don't. He played fine. He played good enough to win.
Good enough to win with 13 points?
It's not his fault. I told you that. That's all. Now, do you want to? Is there anything with that game you want to touch on, or
not really? I mean, I enjoyed
Titans kind of dominated them.
They did from start to finish. Derrick Henry was a man, and I enjoyed the clock gamesmanship with Vrabel pissing off Belichick, and I mean, other than that, man, I was good with it.
The thing that frustrates me, I'm calling out Steeler fans. You're a little too excited for the Patriots loss.
Yeah,
let's be real.
It's kind of
it's kind of weird, man. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's like, oh wow, I brought these guys in to take you out.
Yeah.
Nah. But here's the other thing. I think the whole Patriots Steelers, like, oh, they own us, is a little overblown.
I agree.
Especially because we've only played them twice in the playoffs.
I know.
Ben's whole career. And the first was his rookie year.
I know.
Which I think we could say he's a rookie. Patriots could have been spying on us, whatever. And then
the AFC Championship game in
where our second
15
receiver was Kobe Hamilton and Le'Veon Bell was hurt. So it's kind of overblown. They've had our number in regular season.
Yeah.
Especially up there, but coming here, we've got our wins against them.
Absolutely.
So that's a little overblown, and don't be celebrating too much. That's all I'm saying.
Dead the myth that we could have done what the Titans did, because we don't have Derrick Henry on our team. We don't have a Derrick Henry.
No.
And I love our offensive line, but they weren't playing the way that Titans offensive line was playing.
No,
like not even close, man.
No. So
Vikings, Saints. Vikings obviously won that 26-20.
What's so funny?
I'm just, I like where you go ahead. Were you writing this one too?
Huh?
You're writing this one too, right? Saints are gonna blow them out, man. It's Drew Brees. Kirk Cousins sucks.
Yeah. Must have flipped the switch. I don't know what it is. That's all I can say. I was wrong. I was wrong on this one.
Okay.
The other two, I'm not gonna admit that I was wrong, but this one, yes, definitely wrong.
I looked at it like Cousins and the Vikings played a really good game. Saints were out there finding ways to play bad. It was crazy.
No, definitely.
But that's the beauty of playoffs. It's one and done. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't play your best game in that particular moment, you're going to get beat.
The topic of conversation, though, I brought up to you, and you disagree with me, is you got to give Breeze a chance at the end. That's what I want to see.
He had 4 quarters. He had a chance.
That's what I want to see. That's what everyone wants to see.
Not everyone. I feel like it's 50-50 when you're talking about the whole overtime rules. Some people like it as is.
It's like common sense.
It's not common sense. You have 4 quarters to finish the game. People are like, well, make it like college. I don't want to see 40 overtimes. I don't want to see, you could have just now, you could have just, I don't want to see that. I don't.
But after a touchdown is scored, say Breeze scores a touchdown, then it's.
Then what's going to be the difference? It's the exact same situation you just said. If Breeze get a chance to score a touchdown and they tie it up again, no, because now, they both scored offense. Well, now Kirk Cousins gets 2 chances to score. Well, why don't Breeze get 2 chances to score? And then it's going to keep going on and on and on. That's what's next. I'm telling you.
I get it.
I don't want to see that.
There is a slippery slope.
Overtime isn't meant to be fair. Overtime is meant for the game to come to a conclusion, to come to an end. You have 4 quarters for fair. You have 4 quarters. You get a possession. Now you get a possession. You get a possession. Now you get a possession. It's overtime. We're trying to end the game. The game was supposed to be 60 minutes. Okay, hey, y'all couldn't find a winner. These rules are in place for us to find a winner to this game. Not to give you a whole nother game on top of a game. Because that's what's about to happen, bro.
But my theory uses both of those.
Let me hear it.
No, it's as simple as it. After the first time where Breeze would get the ball back, say he scores a touchdown, then it's next point wins.
So what makes that so different than what we already have, though?
Because just the other team's offense gets a chance. That's all.
No, this is my thing. So why does the team that won the toss going to get 2 offensive possessions potentially, and the team that lost toss only gets 1 offensive possession? How is that fair?
Because now it plays into the timing.
No, but so what's the difference the first time then?
At least each offense got a chance.
But what's the difference? Because then the argument is going to be, well, at least, that offense got 2 chances. Why don't we get another chance?
Nah, that's not it.
Yeah, you would say that if Ben was on the losing end of it.
No.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I would not.
Yes, you would.
I would not.
So why are you
that's
saying
where
that
I
right
draw
now
the
for
line.
Drew Brees losing it? He didn't get a chance out there.
I just want to see it. I don't really
For
care.
what?
Saints lost.
For what?
Whatever.
You had your opportunities. You had 4 quarters. I don't want to see that, bro.
The thing I will say,
make it like college. Oh, well, you want us to line up at the 20 and then we just kick field goals all day?
No, not like that.
Line up at the 50. Oh, you get 1 first down, kick another field goal. Like, I don't know. No, it's meant to end the game, man.
I think my resolution is the perfect happy medium.
I'm cool on that, bro. I'm cool on that. If you want Drew Brees to get an opportunity, let your defense go out there and get a stop. It's that simple.
Okay, but the thing I will say with how it is right now, it does make that play to Kyle Rudolph, that 3rd and whatever, more exciting because that's the game. Yeah. That's the game right there. Either and you also, kick the field goal.
If you hold them to a field goal, hey, your defense did their job. Now your offense has a chance to score because, hey, let's be real. Not all defenses are good, right? Not all defenses are elite. But if you can hold them to a field goal, okay, now your offense has a chance to go out there and tie it or win the game. Yeah. That's fair. But it's a team sport. You said it's the ultimate team game, right?
It is.
So make a play. Offense has to make plays. You expect Breeze Guard to make a play. I expect Cameron Jordan to make a play. I expect PJ Williams to make a play. I expect Demario Davis to make a play. They got all pros on defense just like they got all pros on offense. Might be the same amount of it. I think it's the same. No, actually, it's more all pros on defense than it is on offense because Drew Brees didn't make all pro. Who was the all pro quarterbacks this year? Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson. So no Drew Brees. The running back was Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. So no Kamara. On defense, it was Cam Jordan. Offense was Mike Thomas. He made all-pro. Yeah. And Demario Davis made all-pro on defense. So that's 2 all-pros on defense. So if anything, they should have been happy that the defense was out there.
I get both sides. But
the game is meant to be ended in overtime. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I just think
you're trying to have them play an extra hour.
No. Just one more series. That's all.
No, bro.
Just one more series.
Because it's not going to stop there.
No,
because they already changed it. Remember, at first it was you go down and kick a field goal and that's game. And remember, they changed it to, okay, if you kick a field goal, well, now they get a chance. And see, that's not enough for you.
No, that's it.
But you see, that's not enough for you. Because initially the rule was, if you kick a field goal in overtime, the game is over. You can win. You can win a coin toss, kick a field goal, and it's over. So then they changed it to, you have to score a touchdown. If you don't, if you just kick a field goal, now they get a chance. That's not enough. And and then what it's going to go to is this.
It's not.
Yes, I'm telling you, because you're doing it right now. They already changed the rules to this to accommodate you. And now you want to make it where, well, now Breeze should get a chance. Now they're going to say, well, why does this team get 2 chances and that team only gets 1 chance? It shouldn't have come down to a coin flip. Oh, well, now we got to keep it going back and forth and back and forth.
I see how that could happen.
That's how it will happen.
I have faith in humanity where the line will be drawn.
Clearly you don't because you already kept the line moving.
Yeah, but I never felt like that was the best iteration of that rule yet. It was evolving, just like the BCS playoffs in college. Bro, probably should be moved to 8 teams. Bro, we're always evolving. We're moving forward.
Anywho, you can ask the people what they want for overtime. I really don't care.
Okay.
Clearly, the NFL sides with me, so I ain't tripping. All right. Then Seahawks, Eagles. How'd you feel about that?
I was at a bar and Wentz went down and I stopped caring.
Yeah, I agree. I know they tried to defeat us to Josh McCown. I'm like, I don't really care about that story, bro.
I stopped, and that's the thing.
Beast Mode scored. I was happy.
Like, in the game, you kind of want to see the upset. Oh, could the Eagles pull it out with McCown? Yeah. Like, it'd be cool to see. But then in the back of my mind is, I'm not going to want to see this next week. I want to see Wilson versus Rodgers.
Right. I don't want to see McCown versus Rodgers next week.
No.
I'm cool on that.
No, that game would be over. Now we get Wilson and Rodgers. There's already a little rivalry there. They don't really like each other too much. And Seahawks Packers, there's some history there. So that's going to be sweet. That's going to be a good game. And I get to see Beast Mode another game. And I get to see DK Metcalf continue to just do crazy things. Now, I don't know if that was due to how bad the Eagles secondary was. We're going to find out. Packers have good defense.
Yes, they do. So we're going to find out if DK is real or not. But that looked very good, though.
Yeah. So I don't really have much to say for that game. It was just somewhat of a slugfest going back and forth. That's what I remember. My vision was foggy. I was few beers deep, but Wentz went down and it was just like,
Yeah.
So let's have the Seahawks win and play the Packers, which is what happened. And we got some good matchups next week.
Absolutely. And we'll be previewing those in the next podcast, so y'all already know to tune in, baby.
Absolutely, bro.
It's a fun time, man.
It definitely was.
Hey, man, we got to keep it going, baby.
Absolutely.
Always appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Sounds good, man.
Yes, indeed. And until next time.
Peace.